think we're up. Are we up? All right, let's see. I think we're live, but Rachel will tell us in a second. Really? I think we should be there. Yeah, we appear to be live. Well, I would like proof of that before we start talking. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. We are, and we're just, people are watching us go, are we on? I don't know. Are we live? I don't know. I can't tell. Cool. So we are live. So hi, everyone. Welcome to episode, what is it? I think it's episode 6 already of Talk Hard Live on Outer Loop TV. Thank you so much for joining us again, everyone watching on YouTube, all of our amazing artists tonight. We're coming to you, the Outer Loop studios are based in downtown DeKalb, Illinois, bustling streets, the hood, and we're representing tonight New York, Michigan, LA, and down the street in DeKalb, but the other end of DeKalb, which is really only like 3 blocks away. So I did want to say a really heartfelt thank you to everyone who keeps watching and tuning in every week on YouTube. We've really had a solid following and a loyal audience. So thank you to everyone. It means a lot to us. It means a lot to all of our artists who, many of which who come back each week and participate again. And each week we also have a few new folks. So super exciting to have you with us, especially at this very challenging time that we continue to all go through. Really quickly, again, the Outer Loop Theater Experience is a nonprofit theater organization that's been around for about 10 years, focused on new work solely. And Talk Hard was created 5 years ago in New York City as an in-person event. Remember those, where we used to all go in the same space together? So, and it was developed as a new work, like a workshop for artists of all stripes to bring new pieces they're working on, get a sense of it in front of an audience, get it out of their bedrooms or studios, and like workshop and network with other artists. And now, given our current situation, we're able to bring it to you online and also offer that same opportunity for artists to get a little bit of a sense of their work while we're all separated and in our own homes. So usually at this point, I go right into the show. And I don't really, we like to keep it light, and we will get back to keeping it light, but I don't usually do this. But I have something to say tonight, to read. Like I mentioned, these are extremely, it goes without saying, these are extremely challenging times for us all. There's a lot going on, right? We have the pandemic, we have a failure of a lot of things, but a failure of leadership in this country and around the world. We have a lot of corruption in this country and around the world, a lot of violence, a lot of divisiveness, racism, just so many issues that we as humans and we as artists have a responsibility to address. So obviously we can't address all of those in one shot, especially tonight. But I did want to address one. And I want to address this particular one because if you got any bit of the news today, you were aware of the cell phone video that emerged of the murder of Ahmaud Arbery in February by a black man by 2 white men. In February. And John, I don't know if you're familiar with John Pavlovitz, who's a writer and an activist, but I came across something that he wrote today that I felt compelled to share before we got started. So bear with me. I'm also having a little throat issue. It's nothing to worry about, hopefully, but bear with me. So this is by John Pavlovitz. Ahmaud Arbery is dead because he was a black man. He was hunted down by 2 white strangers in broad daylight because he was 2 things. He was black and running, which was enough reason for them to grab weapons and get in their truck and chase him down and assassinate him in the road. Being black and running was Ahmaud's crime. To some white people, you can't be black and running. You can't be black and standing outside a convenience store. You can't be black and sitting in your car eating lunch. You can't be black and playing in a park. You can't be black and watching TV in your apartment. To some white people, you can't be black. For far too many white people, such things are probable cause for calls to the police and screamed threats and physical intimidation and immediate executions. This is the unthinkable reality of the America we still live in, and in this America there are only two kinds of white Americans. There are white racists, and there are white anti-racists. Not professed anti-racists who click the roof of their mouths, feel an initial wave of sadness at news of murders of jogging black men, and then move on with their day. Not anti-racists who endure grotesque racist dinner table diatribes from their uncles and mothers and husbands and choose not to speak because they don't want to deal with the blowback at home. Not anti-racists who sit through incendiary Sunday sermons from supremacist pastors and somehow find themselves in that same pew the next Sunday and the Sunday after that and the Sunday after that. Not anti-racists who absorb vile break room jokes and outwardly laugh along while internally feeling sick to their stomachs. Not anti-racists who scroll past the most dehumanizing memes and videos from people they've grown up with and gone to high school with, not wanting to engage the collateral damage of publicly confronting them. In the presence of this kind of cancerous hatred, the kind that killed Ahmaud Arbery, the kind that is having a renaissance here in America, there aren't moderate gray spaces to sit comfortably and observe from a distance. No, this is a place of stark black and white extremist clarity. You oppose the inhumanity or you abide it. You condemn the violence or you are complicit in it. You declare yourself a fierce and vocal adversary of bigotry or you become its silent ally. White friends, we are being asked to speak clearly because when we do, we place ourselves alongside those people who deserve to get up today and run and stand outside convenience stores and sit in their cars and play in the park and relax in their homes. And we place ourselves across from the bigots who feel they will never be held accountable for not wanting them to do these things. To be clear, this outward stance doesn't erase our privilege or exempt us from our prejudices or remove the blind spots within us that perpetuate inequity. Those are realities we'll have to continually confront in the small and close and quiet moments of the remainder of our lives. It doesn't dismantle systemic racism or the institutional inequalities woven into our nation, which we benefit from. But what our outward declaration will do is to let other white people know where we stand, our neighbors and coworkers and family members and social media friends. It will place us undecidedly on the side of black men jogging in their neighborhoods. It will place us in unequivocal opposition to white men choosing to become judge, jury, and executioner to a stranger who have grown up never acknowledging the value of a black life because so few white neighbors, coworkers, family members, or social media friends told them otherwise. As of this writing this morning, Ahmaud Arbery's white murderers are still free. And whether they remain free or not, the malignant racism that engineered his death will be showing itself again today. It will shout its inhumanity across tables and in pulpits and in break rooms and on our news feeds and in presidential tweets. And we who live with the unearned privilege of having children and fathers and sisters who can run and stand outside convenience stores and sit in their cars and play in the park and watch TV in their homes without fearing the taunts and punches and bullets of irrational strangers, we have an obligation to speak explicitly and loudly now. White Americans need to condemn white racism in America or be guilty of it. I want to be someone who condemns it. So I felt that, it was important to acknowledge this today and it was my responsibility specifically and our responsibility to before we get together and share our art and share some laughs and share our love and share everything that we share every week, which we'll still do. I felt it would have been doing a disservice to just get started and not acknowledge that that's going on and speak to it and uplift that message. So thank you for allowing me to do that. And we do have an incredible lineup tonight, probably one of our strongest ever. We have 6 artists and performers tonight. It's going to run about an hour. Like we've done for the last few weeks, we're accepting donations throughout the entire show at our Venmo at Talk Hard. All of the donations raised tonight will go directly and immediately to all of our artists after the show. They can vouch for the fact that within probably 7 minutes after the show ends, it's in their Venmo account. So, and we're super, super grateful for everyone who has been donating last week. It's incredible. I mean, I'm sure they can speak to it too, some of the returning folks, but I can tell you that everyone's been super grateful. Just they can't believe the generosity of our audience, and it's helped people buy food and get gas in their cars. And you know, these are all artists who, like everyone, are out of work and losing income directly because of this, as are many people, we realize, but are grateful for your generosity. So thank you so much. We're gonna get so right when we get started, like every week, you can drop comments in the YouTube machine, and Rachel will shout them out from the corner. She'll remind you of the Venmo address. She'll drop the PayPal link for the. We've had some folks PayPal drop.
Shout out to Tim and Diane.
Shout out to Tim and Diane. I don't know who that is, but cool. Likely Miles's mother will get a shout out too from upstairs because she's a loyal watcher. So cool. We're going to get started with, this is really cool. I love our first artist because now, for those of you who have been watching regularly, we've been reading Sergio's play from the beginning. We've had 2 installments so far, and we're going to have the 3rd installment today. So we're getting to follow these awesome characters, Caroline and Emilio, and their relationship developing. And Sergio, I just want to tell you before I bring you on, we've had people message us, and I think we passed a few on to you already. People are like so invested in these characters already and psyched to like see their relationship develop. So yeah, so if the rest of our artists can hide your video, and we will, thank you everyone. We will set this up. And I'm also, as you see on your screen, everyone, turn off hide non-video. There we go.
It's really funny. I've been trying to picture, since we've been reading it, Rachel as a goth.
Good luck.
Like with eyeshadow and like smoking, like blocking like purple fire. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
like
flicking your cigarettes at the preppy girls kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like that's what I've been picturing you doing for like the last week.
That's funny.
I won't confess to being a goth, but I will say there was a lot of excessive eyeliner in my past.
Oh, yeah.
So for everyone in the audience, before we catch you up, before Sergio catches you up to where we're starting from, a big congratulations to Rachel for finishing her first year today of grad school, her MFA in acting, first year. It's amazing that she's still awake and with us, but we're gonna. That's why we had this Sergio's play first, because we're liable to lose Rachel after this. She hasn't slept in 7 months. So
squeeze the last of the acting out.
We're grateful for Rachel hanging in.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Of course, for you.
For you, yeah. Sergio, do you want to catch us up, or do you want us to just jump in?
Yeah, well, no. For anybody who doesn't know, I guess
Cool.
this is a play called Meet Me Under the Bleachers. I'm working on it for a playwriting group that I joined recently for the first time. So just sort of, if you all can go back to 2002. And just think about what your high school was like. If you went to high school in suburban Los Angeles, that would be better. If not, that's fine. But just try to think in terms of that era, like before, phones took over the world. It's specifically right between post 9/11, but pre-Iraq War. So it's that very specific period in time.
Cool.
And these are just 2 characters where Emilio introduced himself to Caroline, and they've been having a very awkward developing a very awkward relationship with one another. The last scene, at the end, they were making out, and Caroline threw up on Emilio because she was really drunk. So,
right.
Cool. Those are the circumstances.
Cool. And scene 8, right?
Yes, scene 8.
Scene 8, next week, Thursday, 12:33, lunch, under the bleachers. Emilio sits on the ground. He wears a Rage Against the Machine t-shirt and new jeans. He reads the book, The People's History of the United States by Howard Zinn. Caroline enters. She's zipping her backpack up with a cigarette that is not lit in her mouth. She looks up and stops when she sees Emilio. She walks over to him quickly. He notices her as she approaches.
This isn't working for me.
Huh?
You're pretty much stalking me at this point.
Dude, we haven't talked in like a week.
Whatever. This is where I go to get away from people. I don't want you here when I'm trying to be alone.
Neither one of us is supposed to be here.
That's besides the point. I want you to leave.
Short pause. Emilio closes his book and starts to pack up. He stands with his backpack and starts to exit.
Hey,
He stops and turns around to face her.
sorry about last week. Like I'm sorry I My bad. I probably ruined your shirt. We can't hear with your headphones.
Choose.
Yeah, I get it, yeah.
Okay, great.
Can you take it from sorry about
Yeah.
last week?
Sorry about last week. Like, I'm sorry I, threw up on you. My bad.
Thanks.
I probably ruined your shirt.
I threw it out.
What band was it?
Bowie.
My God, I love Bowie.
He's coming to town next month.
Where's he playing?
Universal.
Are you going?
I don't know yet.
All right.
Should I go now?
Yeah.
Emilio exits. Caroline takes out her lighter to light her cigarette, but stops herself. She looks in Emilio's direction. Lights out. Nice. Scene 9. Next week, Friday, bus stop. After school, 3:23 p.m. Emilio sits on the bench and reads the book A People's History of the United States by Howard Zinn. He wears an oversized Weezer t-shirt. Caroline enters. She wears all black and heavy eyeshadow. She walks quickly over to Emilio and sits down next to him. He notices her and looks up, but not at her. She doesn't look at him either.
Okay, so we have to do this history project together, and we have the weekend to do it.
Why did you request another partner?
Seriously? We have to choose a topic. What do you want to do?
I don't know. What do you want to do?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking. Just pick something. It has to be something around World War II.
I don't know. Spanish fascism?
Oh, like post-Civil War?
Yeah, when Franco took power.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we could do that. Are you busy now?
I can't work on it right now.
Why? Do you have an appointment?
Yes. I can't meet until like 7:30.
Short pause. Caroline pulls out a pen from her backpack and grabs Emilio's hand. She starts writing her address on it.
Pick me up here at 8 p.m.
Is that where you live?
Is that a problem?
Should I get your number too?
Continues writing.
Don't be late.
Caroline picks up her backpack and exits. Scene 10, later, evening, 9:40 p.m., Brace Park, parking lot. Emilio and Caroline lay down on top of the hood of Emilio's car. Emilio now wears a black jacket. They both look up at the night sky. Caroline smokes a joint. They're both pensive. 1979 by the Smashing Pumpkins plays from the car stereo.
Say you were in the gym and all you had were the clothes on your back and 100 6-year-olds came in. Morals aside, ethics aside, let's say they're all demonically possessed. How many of them do you think you could kill before they overpower you?
Caroline takes a puff. She hands the joint to Emilio. He takes it.
Wow. I think I could get a good dozen of them.
Yeah, same.
On my best day, though, I would like to think I could kill more of them than that, but I'm trying to be realistic.
Because it's such a realistic question.
Caroline smiles. Emilio takes a puff. He coughs and hands the joint back to Caroline.
You don't have to inhale.
I know.
Do you even smoke pot?
Yeah, like once in a while.
No, you don't.
Okay, I got one. Okay. say you parked in the handicap spot and went into a store, and when you came out, a cop was writing you a ticket. What disability would you pretend to be in order to get out of it?
Awkward pause. Caroline looks at Emilio as if she's shocked and disgusted. Emilio looks back at her and becomes concerned about what he just said. Caroline suddenly bursts out laughing. Emilio laughs too.
God, that is so awful.
I know.
I honestly don't think I would ever do that.
Well, I mean, obviously.
They pass the joint back and forth. They continue staring at the night sky. There's a pause.
Do you like the Smashing Pumpkins?
They're okay. I'm not obsessed.
I was listening to Linkin Park yesterday.
Really?
Yeah. They're terrible.
They're not that bad.
Well, not Savage Garden bad.
Caroline pushes Emilio off the hood of the car. He falls to the ground.
See, it's shit like that that's gonna get you your ass kicked.
Emilio laughs as he stands back up. Caroline doesn't want to smile, but does. Emilio wipes some dirt off his pants and climbs back onto the hood.
What kind of doctor do you see every week?
Therapist.
I thought it'd be something like that. Do you like it?
My parents forced me to go.
Why?
I tried to kill myself last year.
Are you serious?
I wouldn't joke about that.
Why?
That's complicated.
You can tell me.
I don't know. It was just an insane moment of desperation.
For what?
Affection.
Are you gonna try again?
Probably not.
Another pause. Caroline lays back again and stares at the night sky with Emilio.
Why do you hate yourself?
I don't know.
You should wait until you're 27. That's the fashionable age for suicide. Sorry.
It's okay.
Do you think Speedy Gonzalez is racist?
Is Pepe Le Pew a rapist?
Totally! He's such a fucking asshole! Fuck that guy.
He's a skunk.
Whatever.
Emilio laughs. He suddenly gets up off the hood of the car. He gets into the car for a moment. The music stops. He puts another CD in the stereo. Got to Give It Up by Marvin Gaye plays. He comes back out and grabs Caroline's hand and helps her off the hood. She's confused about what's going on. He then starts to dance. Caroline is surprised at how well he dances. He invites her to join him. She smiles and flicks the joint. They dance in front of the car. Lights fade out. Nice, man. That's really nice.
Awesome.
Really, really nice.
I really want to know what happens next for them. So I'm invested.
The relationship, you're developing the relationship so well, you know? It's
Thank
really
you.
nice. And all of your details, the t-shirts and the music and the back, the look and the feel of the world is so clear,
Yeah,
you know?
I can
You could
see it.
totally see them and
Yeah,
the world they're in.
Yeah, I mean, like, even though it was a little before my time, like Weezer was a big band for my youth.
Sure.
But yeah, like it was like I'm trying to think of all these different bands. Like I needed to take a dig at Savage Garden.
It wasn't subtle.
An accident.
No, it's yeah, like I almost didn't like date a girl because she liked Linkin Park. Like it was a thing for me. Like
Yeah,
they were
that's
so bad, I
fair.
almost didn't date her.
That's fair play, man. That's
Fair, right? Which I think is-
like that's a rule breaker. I'm gonna disappear.
And oddly, I think the conspiracy about Tupac still being alive was around, but that was like discredited like a long time.
We're not going to get into that right now. For those of you watching, that was a not so subtle dig at me by Sergio for our opposing views of Tupac's death and whether or not, and the conspiracy theories surrounding it. But we'll save that for another time.
Yeah, because I trust hospital records.
That's funny, man. Nice work, though. Really nice. Thanks for sharing it, everybody. Yeah, this is really great. So everyone can turn their video back on. All of our other artists.
Shout out to Hannah and Shraga.
Shout out to Hannah and Shraga and Ian. And welcome back, everyone.
Andrea.
And Andrea. And thank you. The donations are already flying in. So thank you so much, everyone, for donating and for joining us again tonight. A reminder, our Venmo is @TalkHard. It goes right into our Outer Loop account. The Outer Loop does not take 1 penny of the donations that are raised tonight. All of the donations are divided up equally at the end of the show and go right to all of our artists performing tonight who have all suffered and lost income due to our current pandemic situation. So thank you so much for donating and for supporting all of our artists tonight and for supporting artists and the arts in general. So thank you, Sergio. That was awesome. We're like so excited to see where this relationship goes. It's so cool. Like we're all invested. My mother messaged me the other day. She's like, "Is Sergio gonna be back again? I want to know what's happening." So it's really cool. Cool. So now we're gonna stay. We were just in New York, and we're gonna stay in New York, and we're gonna welcome back a gentleman who those of you who have watched from the beginning are gonna recognize, an extremely funny gentleman, Andrew Chavone. Hey, Andrew.
Hey, thanks everybody.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Your applause is deafening. I can't hear it at all, but I see your hands move.
You can unmute yourself if you're in the Zoom call.
No, it's okay. Sergio, your story was a roller coaster. I was on the edge of my seat. Lincoln Park, suicide. The guy from Lincoln Park committed suicide. Full circle. Sergio.
I just got that. That was good. That was good.
Well, that's new. I mean, people are kind of conspiracy theories about that. Okay, anyway. Quarantine has been good for our health, but I mean, I'm out of shape. I got winded today from a long walk. Anybody else?
Yes.
I was like walking. I clutched my chest. I was wheezing. I was like, I walked 5 miles, and I looked at my Fitbit. It was 5 steps. It's tough. I'm quarantined with my girlfriend. We've been learning new things about each other, mainly how the smells. Like it's like a crash course in body odor. Really, that should be one of the wedding vows. For richer or poor, for when Amazon Prime loses your deodorant. Wow. I'm happy. Happy to have her. I was dating a while before her. When I get angry, I don't. I just involuntarily blink really fast. And, I think because if I yell, I don't want anybody to feel uncomfortable. So my body's like, I'll do that for you. I'll blink until the other person just backs away and leaves and never talks to you again. One time I went on a date with a girl. It was the 4th date. She wanted me to meet her in her neighborhood, which was 30 minutes away. I drove there. I bought her 2 drinks at a bar, gave them to her, sat down, and she said, "I'm so glad you met me here because I wanted to tell you in person that we're not working out." I started blinking so fast, the coasters flew off the table, and from the wind that my eyes created. And she was like, "Are you okay? Do you have something in your eye?" And I was like, "Yes, rage." And so yeah. I have a day job now. My work makes me go to meetings on Skype, which I also use for video games. So I'm showing up on Skype with a gaming headset saying, "What's up, noobs?" And I'm talking to them and, calling them gay or whatever. And they're like, "Hey, who's talking?" And I was like, "It's Andrew." And they're like, "Well, why is your username Caglor?" Like, "Oh, I forgot." That's my gaming name. I think, luckily they got money from the CARES Act, so they can't fire me. But whatever. I see if my therapist has gone remote too, so I see her. We do our sessions by phone, so I get my problems analyzed by both her and my Google Home, which is cool. Today, so we had a session today, and she said, "Okay, so what you need to do is get a lot of sleep and do exercise." And then I got an ad from Google that said, "No, you need Four Loko," and it said, "Don't be a bitch. Just embrace the loco." My therapist is a woman my age, so when I see her, it feels like I'm going on a bad date from her perspective. Because, if this is a date, she'd be like, "This guy talks the whole time and he cries." Oh, he paid. Okay, well, again. I have a lot of anxiety about big purchases, and I was talking to my therapist about it, and she said, "Oh, I think I know your issue." And I was like, "What? Childhood trauma?" And she said, "No, you're cheap." Have you guys ever paid $100 out of pocket to be told that? Because that hurt.
Yeah.
So did that bill. Okay. So growing up, I had bad ADD, but my parents didn't really know what it was. So when I had my first bad report card, my dad, all he did was get me a mechanical pencil. He thought my problem with school was my pencils weren't mechanical enough. And I can't make this up. I remember he just held it up, and he's like, "I got you this. Everything's going to turn around." But all I did in school was take apart the mechanical pencil and put it back together. So it actually made my grades worse. My dad also, I asked, he gave me an ant farm for my birthday that year. And, it's mail order. You get the farm, you get ants in a test tube. And so I just put sand in it with the ants. And all the ants died. And my dad never told me that ants need food. Yeah, but but I fed them the pencil. Before quarantine, I went. My brother had a wedding, and we went to his bachelor party in Florida, and we went to one of these gentlemen's clubs where the women dance and stuff. It's pretty racy. And one of the dancers, she told me to hold out $1, and I did, and then she ate the dollar with her butt. The dollar disappeared. It was like a reverse ATM. Just was gone. It was like a magic trick. And I was like, "Wow, that's impressive." And she said, "No, what's impressive is that I'm also a mom." I was like, "Oh my God." Well, that makes sense because my mom also taught me to wash my hands after touching money. This did. Every time I touch $1 now, I'm like, this might have been in a butt. Really threatening for the coronavirus. So I've had a lot of bad jobs. Before the one with the gaming headset, I worked at an office once where I sneezed. No one around me said "bless you," but out of habit, I still said "thanks." Made me feel pretty uncomfortable until the guy that worked next to me said, "Dude, you are so sarcastic." And I was like, "Yeah, that's what I was. I wasn't awkward at all." And then later in that same day, I bumped into a broom that was leaning against the wall, and I said, "Excuse me, sir." And then I realized it was a mop, and I said, "I mean, ma'am." And the same guy popped up and said, "Killed it again, dude." Oh, thank you. My life. The worst thing that ever happened to me at a job is my boss brought his wife to meet everybody, and when she met me, she went in for the kiss in the cheek hello, I couldn't read it, and we ended up kissing right on the mouth. Ouch.
Yikes.
I got some. And it was super weird. Everyone looked. My boss gave me a dirty look. I gave him the scared look, and I kissed him on the mouth too. And no one said anything about it, and then I got promoted. So, drive it home, guys. That's my time. Thank you, everybody. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Andrew. So good, man. Thanks so much, man. So good. We're always lucky to have you with us.
Oh, we're lucky to be here.
Thanks, man.
Your mom can't figure out how to comment, but she texted me that Andrew was very funny.
My mom or Andrew's mom?
Your
My mom. Apparently my mom, which is not a surprise, cannot figure out how to chat, even though she has in previous weeks. Said, I can't figure out how to chat, but Andrew is very funny. So I have in a
Mom's
text.
on here too, so maybe they can get together.
Actually, even funnier, she texted Rachel that.
Wow.
Thanks, Mom. She's listening. So I'm glad. What I find heartening actually about that, Andrew, is she found you so funny that she was like, shit, I can't figure out how to chat, but I can text Rachel, and Rachel's sitting next to Michael, and then Michael will say it.
Wow, my joke scrambled her brain.
Totally. That was awesome. Thanks, Andrew. And thanks, Mom. Thanks for watching. I feel like she kind of has to, right? Like, I mean, she doesn't have to, but she's great. She watches every week. And now we're coming to you, as you can see, from the Rebel base, where they plan where they plan how they're gonna escape from the Imperial forces. So I figured it's working. All right. This is also the awkward part where I try to figure out for the 700th time. Again. Right. I saw Miles wait. Miles was like, that's all Miles was doing. He was just waiting for Michael to point in the wrong. I saw you, man. I saw you.
I knew it was going to be wrong.
I knew. Yeah, I did too. Right there. Oh, right there. Right. I can't do it. So our Venmo is like there on the screen next to me. Thank you to those who have already started to donate. And again, if you're just joining us, all the donations.
Shout out to Vanessa.
Shout out
and
to
Andrea.
Vanessa and Andrea. Yeah. I don't know who that is. Oh, yeah, I do. I totally know who they are. So a reminder, if you're just joining us, we always like to say a suggested donation of $20 is awesome, but whatever you can afford, as you can see on the screen, there. What the fuck? Somewhere on, I can't do it. It's anything, $1, $5, $20, anything you can give. All donations get split up evenly and go to our artists tonight who have lost income due to the pandemic. So thank you so much for donating whatever you can. We're going to keep it in the comedy zone, in the funny zone. Another Talk Hard legend and regular that everyone who follows us regularly knows. We're going to shoot over to Michigan for the funny man himself, the smart and debonair Miles Potter. There he is. Woo!
Hello.
Who also, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention also, congratulations, Miles also finished his first year of grad school today.
Yes, I did. Thank you, Michael.
Yeah.
I'm so tired, but so happy to be here. I was going to take a nap or write jokes, and I wrote jokes. So
Sweet.
right after this, I'm napping. That's a lie. I'm going to go in my hot tub. And then, I got a mic. I got a mic in the mail now, so I feel like I can do some quarantine crowd work again. But, the only people out there are my parents, and they know too much about me, so I don't think that's a good idea. If they heckled me, they would win. I would cry. But since being home, my mom has given me some things. My mom is watching, so I can't say it, and she's 15 feet from me, so I can't say anything too bad. But she has given me some nostalgic items, and I just wanted to go through them very briefly. I have my baby calendar right here from the first year I was born, and on May 7th, 1989, I had my first meet. Big deal. And then this is the newspaper from the day I was born. Pretty late 80s stuff you would expect. Bush leads poll, probably goes well. what caught my eye is there's a story about it says here, maybe I don't know if you can see very well, but it says, is that the right story?
Yeah. See,
Okay, I'll read it to you. It says, seeing eye dog enters hospital, witnesses birth, which is, holy shit, a lot for a dog to see, I'm sure. But I mean, I read the article because, you know, that's clickbait. And what it's about is a man was going into the hospital to see his wife give birth, but he was blind, so he had a seeing eye dog. And I can just imagine that man in the room. The dog is freaking out, just watching it. Just, holy shit! And the man's just hearing screaming and anger and rustling, feeling the dog's energy, which is like, dude, we got to get out of here. So, you know, I hope that is how I witness a birth someday. Okay, that's enough about me. You don't care. Here we go. Like I said, I'm at home with my parents for quarantine. They have a hot tub, and I love it. I go in the hot tub every day, at least once. So I wrote some jokes about the hot tub. I said most of these last week, and some of them are horrible. And the last one, I probably didn't write, but it makes me laugh. Okay. I like my women like I like my hot tubs, mostly water. I like my women like I like my hot tubs, round. I like my women like I like my hot tubs, above ground. I like my women like I like my hot tubs, hot. I like my women like I like my hot tubs, with big titties and a fat ass. That is the stupidest joke and horrible, but it makes me laugh every time because it makes no sense. All right, so I read this last week, but I wrote a love letter to my hot tub to let it know how much I appreciate it. So if you'll indulge me a reading, it's a little bit sexual, but here we go. Dearest, my sweet, hot tub, it has been nigh on a day since we were last acquainted. The glorious 30 minutes I spent inside you yesterday and every day before were some of the brightest I remember in recent history. It makes waking up in the morning worth it. You give me purpose. You're my muse. Without you, I am not possible. I was saddened when I had to leave you. Just know I left warm, comforted, wrinkled, and loved. You make me hot. The way the chlorine takes my sperm feels like a payment well worth the relaxation I feel entering and exiting you. You guys have heard this before, and you're still...
That's amazing.
I'm really upset you didn't put the wig on that I gave you. I thought it would have made you look cute. Why don't you experiment with me? No matter. I'll ask again tomorrow or later tonight. Sincerely, your love, Dr. M.C. Potter, M.D., Ph.D., Esquire the Fourth. Thank you for indulging me a reading. It's some of my best work.
Yeah.
Just so you know, the chlorine in hot tubs is bad for your sperm count. I'm not a weirdo and just like ejaculating in hot tubs. But I would. I hella would. I love that shit. I've never done it, but I would do it. Well, this week, the hot tub wrote back. And let me tell you, it's gross. So here we go. This is what the hot tub wrote. Hey, boy. B-O-I. You up? I'm wet as hell. Yeah, I had to read this. This is disgusting that I received this letter. Also, I watched your stand-up last week, and that was a huge violation of my privacy and way too personal. You better not read this letter during your show next Thursday. Well, joke's on you.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't wear the wig because it's fucked up and creepy. Also, the wig has bangs. You want me to have bangs? Fuck off. I'm still horny because it's lonely as fucking quarantine, but don't be weird. And take off that brown hat. You wear it everywhere. Sincerely, the hot tub from your parents' home. Well, once again, seems like y'all are sick of my things, so let's go to the news.
Oh my god.
I clicked on World News, and here were the choices within that. Africa, cool, it's a continent. Americas, a little rude to South America. Kind of implies the New York Times doesn't think there's a lot going on there.
Mm.
Asia, great, another continent. Australia, another continent and a country, fun fact. Canada, we'll move on for now. Europe, yeah. Middle East, yeah, they need their own. Any of those not seem like they fit? How about Canada? I mean, like, I like Canada as much as the next Michigander, but their own world news section? Damn. I was going to click on it and say more, but I'm tired. So I before starting grad school, I did improv in Chicago, and I thought I was pretty good. I thought I was okay. I enjoyed it. But I was known for one thing more than most. I ripped my pants a lot. Because I'm a very physical performer, maybe, or they're just bad pants. That's what it was. But the worst time, like, I've done it during shows, and I don't play in that show much after it happens. But the worst time it ever happened was during a rehearsal. I was with a new team that I helped start, and there was a girl on it who I was super into, and we were doing a scene and I got to pick her up. I'm like, man, feel so cool, manly, picking her up, feel great. And I start to like kneel, you're ahead of me, but I start to like lean down and I rip my pants mid-scene, holding her, and it just takes away all the coolness I felt. And that wasn't the last time it happened. It's happened in shows, rehearsals. It hasn't happened in grad school, which, maybe I need to pick it up. Maybe I'm not ripping enough pants in grad school. My best friend and I, we always talk about ejaculating in hot tubs. No, we always talk about how awesome it would be to have no ambition. Like doing like writing stuff and performing, I can't not do it. But how great would it be? Like, I think of people that still live in my hometown. How great would it be to just care about work, maybe, drinking, sex, and eating? How great would it be? Like, those were your dreams. I'm also super tired, so like all that sounds really good right now. Just like, just don't care about all this stuff. And we'll like daydream about it. Like, just imagine if like you just slept all the time. And I guess that's in bad taste because we kind of get that now. The difference. I used to work at a staffing firm. I was in the payroll department. Don't ever do that. It's so bad. Don't ever do that. But I sat next to the accountants. Also, don't ever do that. That's really bad. Especially if you're trying to be a comedian. Don't sit next to accountants. They don't get it. I would be like, ha ha, accent, and they'd be like, we have a lot of numbers to take care of. But there was one guy who was actually very cool. He was like probably 10 years younger than me. So of course there were going to be differences between him and I. But there was like an incentive trip that we went on to insert city. And I don't drink now, but I was drinking at the time. And I just remember like waking up the next morning, how different it was. It was so obvious. I wake up how you would expect, just like, oh man, the whole half of my day is going to be this. He wakes up, he's like, boom, bam, I got stuff to do. I got to call my girlfriend. No, I got to call my side chick first. He was kind of shitty. He's like, oh man, I'm going to go get orange juice. Do you want orange juice? I'm like, shut up. And he starts blasting music and then gets on the phone. Like, how do you even handle life like this? He was drinking in half an hour after we woke up. And I think that weekend is the reason I don't drink anymore, because it was so painful. All right. I watched a video. I didn't watch a woman. I watched a video. I watched a video of a woman making a mask out of a sock, which is super creative, but I cannot imagine using a sock of mine as a mask after I've been using it. Doesn't that sound disgusting?
Yes.
I'm busy stepping in shit all day, and I'm going to use a sock. Like, oh, I mean, I've been to places recently where I'm like, oh, I got to go back home to grab my mask. If I go in, someone's going to be mean to me. But, if I just cut up my sock right now that I've been wearing, I could go in. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go home. That's horrible. That was just a thought I had. Wow. I had thought of some special quarantine, special products. This list will probably be ongoing, but I was thinking, how fun would it be to have like quarantine Twister, where it could just be like a huge like 50-foot by 50-foot tarp. Everyone has like their own personal board in their corner, and it's like a one-person game that you all play together. No one touches each other, which is kind of the point of Twister. I think it'd be fun if lances came back. You know, lances? Like when you're on a horse and you're holding a lance, like jousting.
Yeah.
A joust, a lance, a lance.
A lance.
Joust is the action, a lance is the noun. Got it.
Yeah.
6-foot lances sounds perfect. Just walking through town city with a 6-foot lance.
Yes.
Just keep it straight out or wherever you're going, making sure whoever's in front of you. I mean, jousting should come back. Sounds like the perfect time. I've also been recently into masks. With the last thing I said, but I think they're all like people are making them out of shirts and like sheets and stuff, and I want branding on my mouth. I want special words. And guys, I only worked on this for like 15 minutes, so there's a lot more good stuff to come. But here's a couple that I think would be funny right now. On the front here, it just says, "My teeth actually look worse." It says "juicy."
Nice.
Joosy, the only way to spell juicy.
Yes.
I love it. It says, "This mask used to be my yarmulke." And yeah, I did spell it right in my notes too. All right, that's all I got. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Miles. Lots of love for Sergio, Andrew, and Miles on the YouTube right now. So thank you. The donations rolling in.
To Hunter, James Henley,
Shout out.
Paige Larkowski, Jonathan Alsa.
Oh man, the NIU crowd is
Woo,
representing.
represent.
Oh my goodness, because school is over. That's why, right? Like we didn't see like anyone for like the last 4 weeks, and
James
now like
Riley
the
via
entire
Hannah.
James Riley via Hannah, right? Yeah, now like everybody finished today, and they're like, let's go fucking watch everybody do shit. Yeah, cool. Thanks, Miles. That was amazing. And Miles, my mother's an accountant. That's all I
I
want to
got
say.
a text message about
Oh
that.
shit, we got another text message from her because she can't comment. What she say?
She said they do get the jokes.
They said they do get the jokes.
I'll get rid of the joke then. I'll never say it
No.
again.
She actually does. She's got a great sense of humor for an
Okay,
accountant.
good.
Yeah.
If it's not true, it's not funny.
That's right. So as you can see, we're back in the Rebel base, planning for the Imperial Army attack. I do want to, before we move forward, I want to let everyone know about a cool new spin-off show that we started last week called Laugh Hard, which is happening now every Monday night at the same time as Talk Hard, so 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, 5 Pacific. And Laugh Hard is an all-female identifying comedy show, so stand-up, skits, all kinds of comedy. And next Monday night, a Talk Hard favorite of yours and mine and Sergio's, Maddie Smith, will be hosting Laugh Hard on Monday night. So we encourage everyone to tune in. Definitely going to be a blast. So that's every Monday night. So now moving back down the road here to Decal, another recent Talk Hard favorite. And definitely known well to the crowd that's on the YouTube machine tonight. Here is Emily Vetrano. Hi, Emily.
Hi, guys.
Welcome back.
Thank you. So tonight's essay is called "I'm Sorry About That Time I Hoped All Over You." Buckle up, buttercups. Okay.
Oh, boy.
I know how I looked. I was cool, low maintenance. I could hang with your friends and beat you at bowling. I made odd pop culture references and quoted movies your last girlfriend never wanted to watch. You didn't have to call me or text me or contact me all day, every day, or even for days at a time. I let you do your thing. I could laugh about, but somehow make it seem like I never physically did urinate, defecate, expectorate, flatulate, any of the 8s. I wore trendy rompers and made it seem like I actually wanted to sit at your weird friend's house for long periods of time while you guys got high and listened to music. I was funny even, and I was nothing like your last whatever it was. She was crazy. I was different. I was easy. But at what cost? Because later, as we both discovered, there was a hidden fee to dating the cool girl, an underlying contract that when asked to fulfill, you couldn't remember signing. You see, unbeknownst to both of us, while I was satisfying all your fantasies of the perfect girl, while I was molding myself to be flawless in your eyes, while I was denying every part of me to satisfy every part of you, I was secretly hoping all over you. That's right, hoping all over you, like vomiting all over you, but with my hopes, my dreams, completely unrealistic expectations, and a very one-sided perception of what was actually happening between the two of us. So I sort of don't blame you for patting my leg in the car on the way to the airport instead of, like, I don't know, responding with words when I said I wanted to be with you. For somewhat vaguely responding to my first super vulnerable email. For slightly hinting at the fact that you received the care package I sent from New York while simultaneously never actually acknowledging whether or not you, A, number one, liked it, or B, number two, might at least be a little grateful. I don't blame you for pretending you never actually received my second super vulnerable email, which was especially awkward because you definitely emailed me a few days after I sent said second super vulnerable email from the same email address I sent both my first and second super vulnerable emails to. I mean, I don't really want to get into this here, but I'm still just not entirely sure how you missed my email. Those are your words, not mine. Anyway, look, I get it. The truth is you didn't ask for any of it. You didn't make promises you couldn't keep. You didn't make any promises at all. In fact, you barely said anything. And I read He's Just Not That Into You. And I suppose I have to admit here that I also saw that horrible movie. All signs pointed to you being just not that into me. Any sane person would have not sent the second super vulnerable email, or would have gotten the hint when you stopped messaging her on Snapchat, or just gotten the hint when that was your only method of communication, period. Any woman with a little awareness would have read between the lines, literally, and chalked up our time that summer to exactly what you thought you were signing up for. A little fun with a super easy chick that is definitely going to be a distraction and is certainly not crazy. But my hope, read the little voice inside me that kept saying, don't worry, you're the exception to the rule, got the best of me. And I became too busy planning our amazing life together to actually stop and have an adult conversation about whether or not you were planning to be a part of it. Our life together, that is. Side note, our life together was pretty cool. And it included a backyard, which coincidentally looked a lot like the backyard from Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt's W spread circa 2005-ish. One of those stainless steel outside backyard barbecue things to put in previously mentioned backyard, a trip to Italy, and 1.5 kids. It's not bad for two complete strangers, am I right? I digress. What I'm trying to say is, I'm sorry and you're off the hook. Not that you knew that you were on the hook. Unless you interpreted my ghosting you as the hook, which it definitely was. Which I suppose makes you far more aware than you actually let on, so good work there. Look, was it easier to blame you, to chalk you up to a jerk, or one of those dudes who drives around with his cab light on when he's not actually ready to pick anybody up? That's a shameless Sex and the City reference. To think I did nothing wrong and you did everything wrong? Yes, but that wasn't fair, because what I figured out, what I am still trying to say is, it wasn't your fault. How were you supposed to know the girl who sold herself to you as the cool girl, the low maintenance girl, the not like any of the other girls girl, would turn into just that? But before you forward this on to all your friends as proof that you were right all along, you did nothing wrong and girls are and have always been crazy, I want to stop for a second and acknowledge that while my hoping all over you wasn't your fault, I'm not sure it was entirely my fault either. So stay with me now. I did that. I hoped all over you. If I'd been aware of what I was doing, I would never have sent that second email. I definitely would have sent that first email, but sending the second email was a bad choice, just bad judgment all around. But seriously, I never would have consciously done that to you. It was the opposite of cool. But what I'm trying to understand is this. Why did I want to be the cool girl in the first place? I'm trying to understand why I wanted to think it was cool you smoked weed all the time. Like, really, all the time. BT dub, is that an LA thing or just an addiction thing? Why I never wanted to poop or pee or disagree or laugh louder than you. Why I really, truly wanted to be the girl who had zero needs and wants and expectations and standards and boundaries and desires of her own. And at the same time, I'm trying to understand why you wanted me to be that girl too. I'm trying to understand why you wanted me not to have an opinion about anything. Why you were too busy loving how you looked in my eyes to take the time to question whether or not I had a reflection of my own. Why you wanted me to be so goddamn easy. And look, I don't think this is just a me thing. I don't think I'm the only woman who believes at one point or another the sole way to find a partner is to fetishize herself and cut off circulation to her brain. I don't think I'm the only woman who still refers to herself as a girl while writing essays about herself, who feels lobotomized and angry and unfulfilled and unsatisfied, who feels like a hamster stuck on the proverbial treadmill of life, just running toward a destination unknown and unachievable, unsure and unaware of how she even got on the treadmill in the first place. And I don't think this is just a you thing. I don't think you're the only man who feels confused when out of nowhere a woman who said she didn't care about where she wants to eat or what she wants to do or where she wants to go sends you a 3-page email telling you she's in love with you and wants to have your babies. I think this is a we thing. Because as long as we, not just you and me, but the larger us, keep telling our young women and girls through our actions, our words, our behavior, our messaging, our attention, and mostly our inattention, that they aren't allowed to poop or pee or talk loudly or have an opinion or dare to dream or take what's theirs. As long as we keep telling them they aren't allowed to be that size or wear that color or be that color, that they aren't allowed to have pimples there or wear those clothes or say yes and then say no and then say yes again. As long as we keep telling them their only choices are to be good and to stay quiet, to be nice and to stay small, they are going to continue to hope and hope and hope all over the place. And I'm not talking about little spit up here. I am talking about the projectile hurling of hope all over every and any unsuspecting, undeserving person in feeble attempts to fill the black holes that have replaced their collective and individual understanding of themselves. So no, it wasn't your fault, but buddy, it wasn't mine either. Yes, I sold you a bill of goods, but you, sir, bought that bill of goods, sight unseen. And by never asking, inquiring, probing into me as a person, as a human being, you got exactly what was coming to you. A whole lot of hope. Hope on your shirt and hope on your life. Hope in your inbox and your mailbox. Hope on your sheets and on your sneakers. Also coffee on your sneakers, which honestly I'm still pretty embarrassed about. They look expensive. I was nervous. But like I said before, I don't blame you. Just like we have to teach our girls to have a voice, we have to teach our boys that theirs isn't the loudest and the only one in the room. Maybe if you've been taught to ask what I want, I wouldn't have regurgitated it all over you in vulnerable emails you didn't ask for and pretended not to receive. Well, okay, fine, one. You only pretended not to receive the one. And maybe if I had been taught to know, own, accept, and speak what I want, I wouldn't have needed you to ask me in the first place. So again, I'm sorry about that time I hoped all over you. If it's any consolation, it really had nothing to do with you at all.
Oh, that was beautiful, Emily.
Thank you.
Really beautiful. Wow.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Really.
Lots of love
Lots of
on
love
YouTube.
For that truth.
Good.
Lots of love for that truth on the YouTube and
Thanks,
from
guys.
us.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. For those of you, correct me if I get this wrong, Emily, but if you love Emily's writing, and if you don't, you're wrong. But if you do, I believe she has a new website where she shares her writing called allthatileftUnsaid.com.
You bet.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you can check out Emily's writing there.
Thank you.
Because clearly we're all fans now.
Thank you.
Cool. So here we are back in the Rebel base. Couple reminders. Thank you for everyone who is donating. The donations are still rolling in. Thank you so much. As you can see on the screen here next to me, all donations tonight go to our performers who have and our artists who have all lost income due to the pandemic. So anything you can donate, we suggest a cover charge, like a virtual cover charge of $20, but anything you can give, $1, $5, $20, anything at all, we're super grateful for, and our artists are super grateful for. And on the screen, you can see our Venmo is Talk Hard. I've given up trying to point at it because I still, believe it or not, I still can't figure it out. So I'm just gonna stop.
Shout out to Shannon Coltrane.
Shout out to Shannon Coltrane.
We're in her.
We're actually coming to you from the Rebel base, which is Shannon Coltrane's old apartment. So, thanks, Shannon, for hosting without even being here. Talk Hard. One more announcement before we move on to our next amazing, brilliant, talented, hilarious, beautiful performer. I just did want to mention one other project. I mentioned Laugh Hard before. We're also, we have a really, really big project coming up that we're in about the second phase of right now called the Empathy Project. And if you want to find out more about it, you can find us. You can find out at outerlooptheater.org, or you can go on Facebook and search Outer Loop or the Empathy Project, and you'll find out about it. But it is a really, really needed, we're finding out, project for these times, and it includes lots of beautiful writing from some folks on the show tonight, a lot of folks around the country and around the world, and even it's going to include some incredible performances as well that tie in with those stories about what we're all going through right now, and it's going to go live on May 30th. So you can find out more about it, the Empathy Project, on Facebook and Instagram. So moving on down the road again in DeKalb, I think, right? Savannah Lee's in DeKalb right now, right? Yeah, by way of, I want to say, North Carolina, South Carolina?
North Carolina,
by way of,
kind of both, so that's good.
That's cool. So Savannah Lee is not new to a lot of us, but new to the Talk Hard crowd, and surely to be a hit, because now everyone's going to know what we all know, that she is beautiful, talented, smart, and has an amazing voice, and is hilarious. And here she is, Savannah Lee. Woo! Welcome, Savannah Lee.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm super duper excited. This is such a treat at the end of this crazy week. So thank you. Great. So I'm going to be changing it up. I'm going to be singing. I'm going to be singing 2 songs, both still in process. Yeah, I'm playing them off a karaoke track because I'm not a pianist. So if you can't hear it, please let me know.
We will.
The first one is At Last by little-known artist Etta James. At last, my love has come along. My lonely days are over, and life is like a song. Yeah, at last, the skies above are blue. My heart was wrapped up in clover. The night I looked at you, I found a dream that I could speak to, a dream that I could call my own. I found a thrill to place my cheek to, a thrill that I have never known. Oh, yeah. You smile. Oh, and then here we are in heaven.
Yes, a duet.
For you are mine. At last. Yes, at last. dog, and he will be singing. He likes to take the spotlight.
That was amazing. Amazing.
Great. So now I'm going to finish off with something very different. Poor Unfortunate Souls from The Little Mermaid.
Nice.
Ursula is definitely a dream role, so
Woo!
here we go.
Yeah.
I admit that in the past I've been a nasty. They weren't kidding when they called me, well, a witch. But you'll find that nowadays I've mended all my ways, repented, seen the light, and made a switch. True. Yes. And I fortunately know a little magic. It's a talent that I always have, he says. And he'll lately, please don't laugh. I use it on behalf of the miserable, lonely, and depressed, pathetic, poor unfortunate souls in pain, in need. This one longing to be thinner, that one wants to get the girl, and do I help them? Yes, indeed. Those poor unfortunate souls, it's sad, but true. They come flocking to my cauldron, crying spells, Ursula, please, and I help them. Yes, I do. Now it's happened once or twice. Someone couldn't pay the price, and I'm afraid I had to rape them across the coals. Yes, I've had the odd complaint, but on the whole, I'd be a saint to those poor unfortunate souls. Now, here's my best offer, babykins. I know a spell that will turn you into a human for 3 days. Now, it's a procedural clause, sort of a quid pro quo. Before the sun sets on the 3rd day, you gotta get dear old Princey to kiss you. And if you don't, well, you'll stay human forever, and then nothing drastic, I'm sure. Oh, look at there, small print. Your soul is mine forever, and you're doomed to spend eternity in my watery, hell-soaked lair. Lawyers. That'll be a terrible problem. And, well, there is one more thing, my fee. And I'm not asking for much. Only your voice. Without your voice, you'll have your looks. Come on, your pretty face. And don't underestimate the power of body language. And they don't like a lot of blabber. They think a girl who gossips is a bore. Yet on land, it's much preferred for ladies not to say a word. And after all, dear, what is idle problem for? Come on, get out all that breathless conversation. True gentlemen avoid it when they can, but they dote and swing and fawn on the lady who's withdrawn. It's she who holds her tongue who gets a man. Come on, you unfortunate soul. Go ahead, make your choice. I'm a very busy woman and I haven't got all day. It won't cost much, just your voice. You poor unfortunate soul. It's sad, but true. If you want to cross the bridge, my sweet, you gotta pay the toll. Take a gulp and take a breath. Go ahead and sign the scroll. Flotsam jetsam, now I got a voice. The boss is on a roll. You poor
Savannah Lee, put your video back on. You just accidentally, yeah. That was amazing.
Yes!
Oh my God. The YouTube is going berserk from Emily and from Savannah Lee. Like, amazing.
Yes!
Now, like I said at the beginning, now everyone knows what we already knew, how beautiful and talented and amazing you are. Thank you so
and now
much.
you know how amazing Seymour is.
Oh my God, he's awesome. He loves to belt.
Oh, yes, he does.
That was
always
awesome.
taking the spotlight.
Savannah Lee,
Thank you.
anytime, come back any
Yes,
and
please.
every time, please. That was amazing.
Yay!
Yay! So, thank you, everyone. I see the. Also, Savannah Lee, Miles blew your cover. a comment in the YouTube comments that you do know how to play piano.
Okay.
He blew
Okay.
your but
I'm
we
trying.
that's okay. We get
Thanks a lot, Miles.
it. Lots of love for Emily and Savannah Lee on YouTube. All the NIU crowd like coming in really hard. The MFAs and the undergrads. A lot of love for you guys.
Yes.
Before we come to our last amazing performer of the night, a final reminder and a thank you. A thank you to everyone who's donated tonight. If you haven't yet and you're able to afford to donate tonight, you can see everything on the screen here next to me. I did it! And I took a chance. And you can see all the information right there. Our Venmo is @TalkHard, and if you can donate anything at all, $1, $5, $20, we will split it up right at the end of the show and get it right to all of our artists tonight. So thank you so much. And now, closing out the show, like she has been known to do over the recent weeks, and we prefer it this way because, as I've said before, she sends us off with our hearts full into the challenging week ahead until we do this all again. It's very true. And Talk Hard regular and favorite, here is Courtney Lavender of X's and Arrows from LA. Hey Courtney, welcome back. Thanks for coming back again.
You guys are too sweet. Thank you. Yeah, Sergio, you're I can't wait to hear where your story is going. And the bit about going to high school in suburban LA, I'm like, oh yeah. A few years before you though. So
Where'd you go?
Taft.
Yeah. Okay.
Where did you go?
Burbank High.
Ah, this is super interesting to everybody not from LA right now. So this weekend, I had no idea what I should do tonight because I don't know. I feel like I'm eating everyone's time. But this weekend, I'm playing a tribute for Scott Hutchison of Frightened Rabbit, and it was 2 years ago this week that he took his life, and so we're gonna pay tribute to him. And I don't know, Sergio, felt also fitting with the topic of your segment tonight. So this is one of his songs, and it's called Roadless. I turned off the road because I was bored, because I was empty, and we all need filling up. I've been running on petrol fumes, and enough was not enough. So I walked, heel to my toes, on the wire between carefree and not caring at all. I will go wherever I can, roadless as I am, roadless soul. I got lost, just hanging around in the blur of the days and weeks and months. Took the calendar down and watched everyone going somewhere while I waited to be found at the cat piss, bathing in bleach. I'm too neutral now to find color for my cheeks. I will go wherever I can, as I am. Road life soul. I will go wherever I can. Roadless as I am. I would roll the soul.
That's beautiful, Courtney.
Everybody go, you should download that EP.
Mm.
I think it might have been the last thing that he put out.
Oh, wow.
It's got that song and like two others, and they're both just absolutely phenomenal. Should have played that last, because now I'm going to play something I wrote.
Your sound is great.
What?
Your sound is really great.
Oh, thanks.
Sounds good.
If this is in tune. It's very hot in my room. So this keeps going out of tune. I couldn't remember if I've played this on Talk Hard before, but if I have, then
It's cool.
everyone will get to hear it a second time.
We'll get to learn the words.
Yeah. This is called Call You Home. And I wake in the night with my fear running wild. I've come to call you home. Recall the light that
Rachel loves that song, Courtney. We all do, but Rachel made a point of saying that just now.
Thank you, Rachel, and everyone.
Thank you, Courtney. Thank you so much again for coming back. Now, those of you, I noticed on YouTube that we have a lot of new folks this week that were not previously maybe familiar with Courtney, and now everyone knows what we know. And like I said before she came on, that we're so grateful and thankful to have her on as often as she can be, and especially to close us out every week, because she really sends us, as you can tell, she fills you up, right? Like I see everybody on the call's heads nodding, like she fills you up and sends you off into the week, just like you feel like your tank's like full again. So thank you, Courtney. There was a lot of love on YouTube for Savannah Lee and for Courtney closing us out there. So thank you so much. The donations are still coming in. What's that?
Woody got 3.
Woody go. Oh, right. Maybe.
I didn't remember until today. I was like, oh shit.
Next time.
Just hanging out there.
next time.
Request.
Next time.
What?
If you're taking requests, I'm just throwing that one out.
No, I will.
That's cool.
I'm totally sorry. I'm really sorry. I forgot.
Cool. So I just wanted to again thank everyone. Thank Sergio and Andrew and Miles and Emily and Savannah Lee and Courtney for sharing your love and your art and your genius and your brilliance with us. It really means a lot to Rachel and I. I know it means a lot to our audience who we're building each week now and who really look forward. I get texts in the mornings on Thursdays, talk cards tonight. So, and I think we'd all agree, the votes are in that this has been the best show so far, and we're learning how to really do it right. And thank you all to who participated tonight. Let me, how do I make it so we're all together? There we go. And I just, a final reminder, if you haven't donated, we'll keep it up for a few more minutes. Our Venmo is @TalkHard. I don't know what the total's at, but it just kept coming in, so it was looking pretty good. But if anyone can donate anything at all to help support these beautiful artists on the screen who haven't been able to, perform gigs at comedy clubs, at music clubs and concerts and plays, and just everyone here has directly suffered a loss from the pandemic. So we appreciate anything you can give to support these beautiful faces looking at you right now. And a couple other quick things. A reminder, Laugh Hard every Monday night at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, 5 Pacific, all female identifying comedy. This Monday hosted by the amazing, brilliant, hilarious Maddie Smith, Andrew's girlfriend, who you saw tonight. And find the Empathy Project on all social media at the Outer Loop social media, in case you want to get involved. We put out a call for artists today, so if anyone's interested in participating, please check that out. And then I just wanted to close with something that Ellen always says, especially given how we started off today. I think she says something along the lines of, I say stay well and stay safe, and she says just be kind to one another. So hopefully we can go off into our lives and into the week with that. So thank you all. We'll see you next Thursday night. Love you. Love everybody. Thanks again. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, Michael.
Thanks, man.